themes that we were playing with on that album.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a straight up revenge song, you know?
Yeah. I definitely like heard that in there and totally agree. I just think it was cool too that you guys dropped, and I don't know how to pronounce this word, and I feel like a fake fan, but the Cold Night Dirge version? Dirge?
Yeah, Dirge. Dirge is like a funeral kind of. So that was more, the Dirge version, that was more like the original demo with all these kind of sounds that Ira sent me, and then I wrote the song around that instrumental.
Yeah.
And
that's probably...
And
that
a lot
song
of
just like... I'm so bad. It's hard when you're not sitting in front of someone to tell them they're about song. I feel like I go off. What were you saying?
I was just going to say that, you know, one of the problems when you have, like, you know, a manager, a booking agent, all these people that hear all these various versions of songs, and they say, you know, well, I really, really liked that original version. I mean, that was what really hit me. And then you say, okay, well, let's put that out too. And we had worked on it some, we had mixed it. And there is something, you know, it's like you work on that. There is something about that initial, you have a piece of music and you write some lyrics over it, and it inspires you in a certain way, and everything kind of fits together nicely. And then once you think about it as a band, you say, okay, well, you've got these sad lyrics or whatever. Let's make the song a little bit more upbeat, and let's put like a nice rhythm to it that you can dance to, and then it'll be a little bit more unique than just this really sad kind of song, you know?
Yeah. I think with that song in particular, there was a point, and I don't know if this happens to you, maybe not because you're musically minded, but sometimes I'll listen to a song and not necessarily initially kind of know what I'm listening to, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm just listening to the pieces of music, and the lyrics kind of like hit my brain a little later.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's songs that I've heard for many, many years, and I'm like, oh, what is this song about?
Yeah. You know? And with Cold Night, it was so funny. I was like working this maintenance job, and I was like weed eating, and I had my headphones in, and I was like, this song is really sad. It just like hit me out of nowhere. I was like, this song is like very, very sad, but it sounds so, like you said, like you just want to dance to it. And so for the longest time, that was the one that I would go to and like want to, whenever, you know, like dance or like, you know, just like listen while you're driving in the car. And then it hit me. I was like, oh, this is like sad.
It's about suicide.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to ask because I knew it sounds very personal, but like, that was kind of curious. That's what I got from it when I heard it. And I was just like, you know, it says when you turn yourself back into dust. And I was like, I think that's what they mean. But of course, until you're able to ask an artist exactly their intent, you know, you don't ever know for sure.
Yeah, no, that song it's about, it was my sister's ex-husband killed himself. And so he was a very, very good friend of mine. And it was a very strange situation because they had recently got divorced, so it wasn't, it wasn't something as clear cut as it would say, like, oh, my brother-in-law killed himself. It's like my ex-brother-in-law, but it's someone that, you know, I had many formative, wonderful times with, and kind of just came out of nowhere. And so that was what that song was. And that's like one of those things where like Ira sent me this like sad little piece, this instrumental piece, and I was like, oh, and then the song just flows, you know?
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I'm sorry if that like hit it, you know, I didn't want to like bring that up necessarily, but thank you for sharing that with us for sure.
No, it's okay. I mean, I wish I was more of a creative person and could just like come up with a lot of songs, but usually I need some kind of traumatic event to just kind of document like a journalist sort of, you know. And those songs always I have the most attachment to, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, in that sense, it's kind of like because we are very much film guys, and so we're like always writing scripts and stuff. And the big thing that they tell screenwriters is like, write what you know,
Right.
So like everything that we write is usually from experience or like something that we've seen like secondhand or something. So like I very much understand like where that is coming from, because like that is how I go about like my writing process as well.
Right. Yeah.
Very interesting.
But yeah, I guess going on to another, kind of switching gears again, to ask you about something. I'm just kind of curious too about the whole Grand Theft Auto 5 thing.
Yeah. Well, that's another song. That's another song that was cut from Fragrant World.
Okay, I was kind of curious about it because I didn't know if like maybe they contacted you and were like, hey guys, like, do you have a piece of music you'd like to let us put on this game, or like write a new song for us or something crazy like that?
We submitted maybe 5 or 6 different demos. I think I wrote two or 3 songs. None of them that made it to any like new Yeasayer albums. It's funny that always happens, but and then we submitted some of those, and I think they're like, oh yeah, cool man, definitely looks awesome. And then Don't Come Close was cut from Fragrant World, and we submitted that, and it has been worked on a lot, and it was mixed and nice and loud. And, And I think probably the lyrical content and just kind of the dark, rocking, menacing, kill everybody kind of sound of the song matches the Grand Theft Auto hellscape.
Yeah, definitely. Now, did they send you guys like copies of the game so you could play it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I've got like the big box set or whatever. But I don't have an Xbox, so I maybe we played it on tour. I'm like a dry drunk with video games. Like if I had video games, I would play them all the time. So I can't have them, I'm like the guy on the bus when we're on tour who's just like getting his fix of Call of Duty or whatever horrible, awful video games. And everybody's, oh, shut up back there. Stop bleeding out. But so I haven't really played that game. But that was a great opportunity for us as a band, because to have this song that just would come on, we were getting, people were tweeting at me who were like voice actors on that game and stuff, which is kind of cool. So it just gives you access to a whole new audience,
Yeah, definitely. Well, it was funny because I like to play video games myself, and I was playing it, and I was like, oh shit, this is Yeasayer, and like I hadn't heard that song, so I went and looked up, and I saw that you guys like put that song in for just exclusively the game, and it was like I thought that was so cool when I was playing it. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, what did it come up? Did it come up on the screen? It says.
Well, in the gameplay, it's just like when you're driving, the radio's on, and so I always, and you have different radio stations, and I always set mine to the alternative whenever I'm playing the game. They have some cool stuff by Waves, and trying to think of another band. But anyways, it came on, and I knew the sound. I was like, oh, this is Yeasayer. And
you recognize the vocals there.
Yeah, you can go like when you change radio stations, it will tell you like song title, who it's by, and maybe album. Maybe.
Yeah, right. So that song also, I realized about a month after the game came out, once someone had beaten the game, then they posted it on YouTube. Oh man, I can't believe when I killed Trevor, this song came on and it was so perfect. So I think that is like an extra honor to be like, oh, the song that's played during the credits of the video.
Big moment.
Yeah. Well, I think it's so cool too that when you're talking about like touring and stuff. I wanted to ask about a specific show, and I feel like I'm about to just butcher this pronunciation, but it's Ancien Belgique.
Yeah, Ancien Belgique, I guess.
Yeah, it's like that live album is, I think, and now I love every album, but I think that one's my favorite to just like easy listen to, with just like Chris kind of talking through, parts of it and just kind of like talking to the audience, and it sounded awesome. And I think that's my favorite thing about you guys. Like whenever y'all play live, it just sounds just as good.
Have you seen us live?
Well, I've listened to that, and I've watched a few live shows that I found on YouTube, but unfortunately, no, I've not seen you guys live.
You've never seen? That's amazing.
That is much to my dismay. I've tried to get to a show, but I haven't been able to do it yet because the last time you guys toured was Amen and Goodbye, and I had some sort of pressing matter when you guys were in Nashville, so I couldn't go, and I was very upset.
Oh, yeah, that was a good show.
Oh, dang it.
Actually, I think what happened at that show, our like crew, they kept leaving behind items. And that show, we were like waiting for our crew to drive back to the last city to pick up this light box and come bring it back. It was, everything worked out, but I do remember. I do remember our sound guy who hadn't like smoked cigarettes in many years taking up the habit again because he was so stressed out.
Oh man! Oh my god!
And I think we did some karaoke after that show.
Oh hell yeah!
That would have been wild to just like run into you guys in Nashville, like karaoke bar. Because I feel like Nashville is a spot where like definitely you've got like there's like a super cool alternative music scene in Nashville. So I feel like if you guys like showed up at the right place, people would be like, "Oh my God, this is Yeasayer."
Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was a good tour. I mean, we played. So you guys are from Georgia though, or no?
I'm from Georgia.
Yeah, I was born in Alabama, but I've spent my entire life pretty much in Tennessee.
Okay. We played Georgia quite a bit. That's what we played Atlanta a bunch.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So Ancien Belgique was like Ancien Belgique. I think we must have played there, and maybe they gave us a CD one time of us playing live, and we thought that it sounded really good or something like that. So then when we were planning on doing a live album, we were like, let's do it at that spot.
Yeah.
Of course I think we mixed that album with the same guy that mixed Oddblood. So, you record it and then you get all the stems, so you get all the individual tracks, and you can kind of dress it up a little bit, make it sound a little bit nicer. But keep all the live, all the sounds and all the clapping and all that stuff. But with that one, I think we put it out as a free pay what you want offering to our fans.
Like a Bandcamp kind of thing.
It was something else like Top Spin or something like that. I don't remember what it was exactly, but I remember getting really geeky and because you could find out exactly how many people had paid nothing, how many people had paid $1, how many people had paid $2, and how many people had paid $9.99. And there was some curve where like most people took it for free, and then the next was $1, and then the next was the really altruistic people who gave you $9.99, and then no one gave you $4 or $5.
$4 is just a random amount. We can't do it.
Can't do it. But then I remember there was a kind of a lukewarm review of it in Pitchfork, like you're talking about, and I remember just being like, but this wasn't even an official release. We were just giving it to people for free. Don't shit on our live album, too.
Oh, man, those guys, I don't know. I feel like every time I read something from Pitchfork, I'm just like, these guys have nothing to do. I feel like